Before we dive into the dark archives of history's most feared man, a gentle reminder. Creating these deep, premium investigative documentaries takes hours of relentless research and production. If you appreciate this level of storytelling, please take a quick second to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Your kind support is what keeps this channel alive and allows us to bring more hidden histories to light. Thank you for being part of our journey. Now, let's begin. His name was J. Edgar Hoover, the man who was never elected to anything, yet ruled the United States from behind the curtain for nearly half a century. The man who knew the secrets of presidents, monitored politicians, manipulated the media, and built the most powerful investigative agency in the world. Then used it to protect himself before protecting the nation. Hoover was born in 1895 in Washington, D.C. From childhood, he was obsessed with order and discipline. He wasn't social, he wasn't popular, but he was sharp, fast, and blessed with an extraordinary memory. At a young age, he joined the Department of Justice, where he quickly stood out for his ability to gather and classify information with almost mechanical precision. In 1924, at just 29 years old, he was appointed Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, a position no one imagined he would hold for 48 years. From the very first day, Hoover began his grand project, transforming the FBI from a small, disorganized office into a massive, unmatched institution. He introduced fingerprint databases, forensic laboratories, strict training programs, and a rigid operational system. And soon, the FBI became the most powerful investigative agency on Earth. But the power he built wasn't only for fighting crime, it was for building his own empire. Hoover believed that information was the ultimate weapon. So he began collecting secret files on anyone who could ever threaten him: politicians, judges, journalists, and even presidents. He kept records of private affairs, financial problems, wiretaps, compromising photos, and secrets no one else knew. These files were his real armor, and the weapon that made everyone fear him. During the 1930s, Hoover confronted organized crime. But strangely, for many years, he publicly denied the existence of the mafia. Many historians believe the mafia possessed compromising photos of Hoover and may have used them to keep him silent. When the famous Appalachian meeting was exposed in 1957, forcing the government to acknowledge the mafia's existence, Hoover appeared as the man who ignored America's biggest criminal threat for decades. In the 1940s and 1950s, as the Cold War began, Hoover found the perfect opportunity to expand his power. Fear of communism was everywhere, and Hoover exploited it to the fullest. He launched a secret program called COINTELPRO, a covert operation designed to monitor, infiltrate, and destroy any group or individual he considered a threat to national security. He targeted civil rights leaders, anti-war activists, black organizations, left-wing groups, and even members of Congress. He used surveillance, smear campaigns, planted agents, psychological pressure, and media manipulation. His most infamous operation was his surveillance of Martin Luther King, Jr. Hoover believed King was a danger to America, so he tapped his phones, bugged his hotel rooms, and monitored every step he took. In one of the darkest moments in FBI history, Hoover sent King an anonymous letter urging him to do the right thing, a message widely interpreted as a push toward suicide. Even presidents were not safe from him. Hoover spied on John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, and even Richard Nixon. He knew their private weaknesses, their scandals, their secrets, and that knowledge kept him untouchable. Hoover used to say, "Presidents come and go, but I stay." And he was right. His personal life was shrouded in mystery. His decades-long relationship with his deputy, Clyde Tolson, raised many questions. They traveled together, dined together daily, and spent vacations side by side. Hoover never married, and no romantic relationship with a woman was ever documented. This secrecy made him extremely sensitive to anyone who possessed personal vulnerabilities, and perhaps explains why he destroyed so many lives. As the years passed, Hoover became the symbol of unchecked power. He influenced the media, controlled narratives, and decided who rose and who fell. America depended on him and feared him at the same time. On May 2, 1972, Hoover was found dead in his home at the age of 77. His death revealed the scale of the empire he had built. When officials entered his office, they found cabinets filled with secret files on nearly every important figure in the United States. But before many of those files could be examined, a large portion was destroyed under direct orders from his loyal secretary. Countless secrets vanished forever. After his death, congressional investigations exposed the truth. Decades of illegal surveillance, political manipulation, blackmail, and violations of civil rights. Yet despite everything, Hoover remains one of the most influential and controversial figures in American history. The man who built the FBI, then used it to rule from the shadows. The man who knew everyone's secrets, while no one knew his. The man America feared. This was the story of J. Edgar Hoover, his rise, his power, his secret files, and the scandals that still echo through history.